Hello and welcome back. When editing, I'm using the Sony MDR V6 headphones. These are about 30 years old. Unfortunately, they're discontinued, so when I needed another pair, I bought the Sony MDR 7506. They're both fairly flat response and very robust headphones in that they can take a lot of punishment and survive. For my personal audio enjoyment, I've used either a pair of Skullcandy headphones or something that came with an old smartphone from Samsung. Probably no better, no worse than what Delta gives you on their airplanes, or what comes with some of the shortwave radios that I owned, or what American gives you. They're just, basic headphones. Going over to my shelf and reaching for what looks like a book, it's the One More Triple Driver in-ear headphone. This book-looking case is a pair of headphones that use multiple drivers versus the Skullcandy and Airline Treats that I've been using. Along with a nice presentation, they should be better headphones. Again, very nice presentation. Magnetic lock on the side, plastic cover. You wonder if maybe they spent a little less on presentation. They could have devoted more money to the actual product, but I hear good things about these, so maybe they've done it right. This is metal. It's kind of goldish tone to it. And then you can either put foam or silicone earpieces to it. They're at an angle. You get some isolation because these do go into the ear. The cord allows you to control a cell phone. You can raise, lower volume, pause. It also has a mic, so you can use it to have a conversation if you'd like to. So it's nice. It's kind of a dual purpose. Use it for just listening to your audio devices or with your smartphone. Let's see if there's anything else included in the box. We get a bunch of earpieces from 14.5 millimeters down to 10. And then we go into the foam. There are 3 sets of those, 11, 12, and 12.8. So a nice selection of that. Oops. Put that bad boy back there. Then there is looks like a cable here. Let's open up this box. And what we get here is, this is nice. This is nice. I already have one of these for my Samsung phone, but this lets you plug into your smartphone, which has a USB-C connector, and then come out to a regular mini jack that you would need to use with these headphones. So I love that they included that. Let's see what's in this little box here. You get a pouch. Not too thrilled with the pouch. I'm not a big fan of pouches. At one time, they actually gave you a little box that held everything. And I was actually hoping that was the case, but it's got drawstrings on it, so you can throw your headphones in there. And that is it for the fancy box, right? This is just a spacer. No, this is a instructions or warranty. One more card. And this looks like multi-language, 1-year warranty in many languages, and an explanation of how to use the volume up and down and pause, and the fact that it has a built-in mic. And that seems to be it. So now the next thing we need to do is to actually plug these in and see what they sound like. Before plugging in, a couple things to know. It's a triple driver, so there's a main driver here and two transducers to divide up the frequencies. Supposedly makes for better listening experience. These cost me $55, so that's about the price you can get them for. 18 grams of total weight. Cables 1.25 meters long, which makes it about, almost 4 feet. Of course, we mentioned that there is a volume control, and you heard that hit the metal of this stand. It's metal on metal, which is really nice. So very little plastic in here. Back to the switch, you can raise, lower volume, pause, and this is all plastic coated copper wiring here. When it mates at the Y, it's cloth protected, which is very nice, and that goes all the way down to the connector. It's a 4-pin connector, so you can use it on your cell phone and audio devices, but you also notice that it is right angled, which is, I find, really nice, because in a case like this with this radio, I just plug it in and it hangs right off. So there's less stress on the wire because it's not going out and being pulled down. The only inconvenience would be when you come to your smartphone, you'll have this right angle that's going off to the side or to the back, but maybe that's not a problem. And I like the fact that it's right angled. I think that was a very smart move on their part. Overall, it has a quality feel to it. So now all that's left to be done is to actually put them on. Oh, and one other thing I want you to notice, and I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there's a little pin dot hole here. So it's actually slightly open, which this helps with sound. Speaking of which, it has a sensitivity of 99 dB, an impedance of 32 ohms. It's rated for 5 milliwatts, and it has a frequency range of 20 to 40,000 hertz. And of course, they're marked for left and right. Now we take our microphone and place it within 2 inches of the earpiece. After trying these headphones out with a variety of music, all the way from classical to disco and everything in between, except for opera, because I'm really not into opera. Though there's some musicals that have opera that I like. Anyway, if I could summarize these headphones in one word, it would be wow. Because I heard, and this is music that I play often, I've heard instruments, little nuances that I had never heard before. And, for 50 or so bucks, these are damn impressive headphones. All right, good and bad. Bad, if they're shrilly instruments, brass, cymbals that are just on the verge of distortion, these headphones just might take it over. But I noticed that when stuff was properly mixed, like I was listening to Does Anyone Really Know What Time It Is by Chicago, which has lots of brass, and I had it cranked and it sounded gorgeous. There was no shrill to it whatsoever. So it depends on the mix. I've heard people complain about the stage, that the stage is small and narrow. And I didn't find that to be the case. It fluctuated with the music and the way it was recorded. And so there were pieces of music that seemed very wide to me and others that seemed smaller and tight. Music that was highly compressed sounded highly compressed. Stuff that had more dynamic range sounded gorgeous with these headphones. These will need power. With this radio, I could actually crank it all the way up. I got no distortion. The only time I had to turn it down was when there was a piece of music that was heavily compressed. But other than that, it handled all the power that this could dish out, which isn't a lot, but that's to say that you may want to add a DAC, an amplifier between you and your playback device to just give these a little bit more oomph. Because the more power they get, the better they sound. They really, really do. Another thing that I felt while listening to these headphones was just emotion. Like the music was coming across so beautifully that several times I was just like overwhelmed by the sound quality of it. And it was funny, at one point my phone rang and I was in a panic because I wanted to turn down the radio, this device, as opposed to just slipping these off, because I thought that they would hear all this music that I was listening to. And that normally doesn't happen with me when I'm wearing my work headphones and somebody calls. It's very obvious that I'm listening to headphones. This just felt like I was in the music. So again, super impressive pair of headphones. I would highly recommend these by utilizing the USB-C to mini adapter. I can plug the headphone in and enjoy music from my cell phone. And while at first I thought there wouldn't be enough level to really power the unit, here's the red zone, and right before it, I'm playing some classical music, and it actually sounds really good. It's unfortunate that I can't share what this really sounds like with you because it's quite an experience. So, of course, I can go into the red, and even though it's cranked, it is not loud, it's not distorted, it sounds very pleasant and just full. This headset would be a welcome addition to any cell phone in your collection. I've used the standard silicone pieces that came with it and had no problem. It went into my ear and it stayed there. My ears didn't fatigue, which I thought they would, being that these were new. Again, I can't say enough about this, and usually I'm not that person. I'm like, yeah, these are headphones, these are nice. But these were actually great. And I'm an older person, so my hearing by default it can't be that great, because as you get older, your hearing deteriorates. And again, I was just hearing wonderful things coming off these recordings. And most of the recordings were WAV files. There were some MP3s, but those were at high data rates. So I wasn't just listening to like really lo-fi quality music. Anyway, enough of me talking. If you're looking for some decent headphones, more than decent headphones, I would recommend these. They do provide some isolation, but you can still hear sounds around you. So if you're looking for something to cut out the environment around you, these aren't it. But they do a nice job of sealing in the ear channel and giving you all the music and bringing down the level of ambient sounds around you. So for me, I think they're great, and I think for most people who listen to most type of music, they will enjoy these headphones. If you found this interesting or useful, give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, join the subscription team, and as always, thank you so much for watching.